In today's world, trade is the largest of global markets supply chains, which includes competing brands, quality standards, movement of goods across borders, business regulations, cutting-edge skills and services. All these activities match up to make a difference. What is behind the headlines? What impact does it actually have on people's daily lives? How can we develop programs that will support countries to get ahead on trade? Trade activities are getting people to act on the agenda of improving trade globally. Agencies and development partners are supporting countries in their roadmaps for change. It's building strong foundations and helping governments bridge to more support. Business Focus takes a closer look at every step involved in the aspect of trade, from identifying, buying, selling, and distribution of goods and services to various parts of the world. Find out from the people themselves what is happening in their daily trading activities and how they go through the hurdles in achieving greatness, from the fields, factories, gardens, markets, and to the consumer.
Welcome again to another edition of Business Focus, where the country from Star Television, Channel 21. And as we all know, Star TV, the mourn for we executive director, where he just passed away, where now Mr. Philip Neville Sr. And we pray that God will give him good, and the legacy we don't left behind, we will for maintain them with others, so yet good people we done the work with. Well, we the county program as always, me and George Elliott Sam. And as we all know, the National Youth Service now one, but the way government be done set through the Parliament of Sierra Leone for able for expose graduates them where they don't done, college where they don't come, for let them able for undergo some training and also give them opportunity for let them go able for be employed, because we all know the employment market is very low, very tight. But with the way government CCS students and the graduates that they come work on it for them, so it creates this platform which are then going for converge and able for learn certain ethics puts them in some institutions at the end of the day, if that person they perform able for proving self, maybe then we able for employment. And Star TV now one institution where they're always a partner with the National Youth Service, and currently we get two of them, students them, then trainees where them is sent to we now then they work with the television. Well, for help me talk about this particular program, we get somebody where in they represent the government, and in the government we don't give that particular man to lay for labor for man this institution. We not to know other lesser person, but as somebody we are not say all man know, and it don't practice for over 4 years now, and you don't see so many progress, we don't see so many results them where you don't able for give to the country in terms of quality employees, in terms of creating the platform for young people, and instead of a very young man in the trainer in little corner, we not to know other lesser person, but now Mr. Mohamed Onana Jallow, we in the director for the National Youth Service. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, George. Happy New Year, and I join the Media One family for mourn a senior brother, a Kolamande brother. We meet passively, but that impacts be always there. And so I join Una for mourn, and I wish God go forgive all in sins and get heaven.
Okay. Well, that's the man where they play the magic the National Youth Service with Mr. Mohamed Onana Jallow. where for the past years and now, you can't tell me which able for do. But before we go further, let me take a short break. When we come back, the program will continue. Okay, Fambul, welcome again to the program. And as I tell you, we did at the National Youth Service, then head office, where we did talk to the executive director, because we don't say they don't begin for do another intake, another badge, where they go now the training school shortly. But Mr. Onana can tell me about that. Well, Mr. Onana, we come to you. Let's look at. Because I don't say the first program we do, you'll be able to tell people in the background which side this idea be come out for do this particular thing. Because we don't see some similar things and they happen in Nigeria, we don't see it happen in South Africa, Ghana, and Salon Safe, come and inculcate this particular idea of how to graduate them, be able for fan way, how they go able for attach them, because like you said, the idle mind and the devil in workshop.
Yeah.
Because we don't see that's not the yield some dividend for the country, the government, and the people themselves where want to create this platform for. And the first place, let's look at the background, how this emulates from waiting.
Okay, so like I always tell people, Sierra Leone for them be the first country where they get national youth service, because the reality now that Nasa Milty Magai now in dream this for Africa, not to just be for Sierra Leone. Where African leaders then be they discuss independence, where they discuss the realities of being independent. Now in your own idea this way bring for the middleman power, for see how we go able to keep the middleman power educated, how we able to keep the middleman power skilled, how we able to keep the middleman power together. Because it always be the belief say from that level, once you get them right, every other thing they follow. Okay. When you get the middleman power structured, organized, skilled, employed, then every other thing they follow. Because now they the bulk of the energy day. From childhood straight, now that youth age, now they the day. But it be unfortunate. Mickey always say Sierra Leone, we dream die with Samuel Timagai. Okay. Because if we just get 4 years of all these things we be get as planned, govern and die, all happen inside 4 years. And after that, all things die. But other countries then be taken. People can feel saying that Nigeria. No, Nigeria, they don't package their own very well. So everybody know about them. We talk about NYSC. It's Nigeria because Nigeria films all the watch. But really, na Kenya, take them immediately after Samuel Timagai in Dream. Sierra Leone independence 1961. Kenya independence 1963. And they begin the National Youth Service in 1964. So they get one of the oldest National Youth Service na Africa. And they own get the blend of what in Nigeria get, and they get a new system where then they even cater for the one way not to graduates as opposed to the Nigeria where just they do graduates. Yeah, but we now we're ready for study. The initial study for law we enact the National Youth Service Act in Sierra Leone in 2016. The study now be on Nigeria, so that the Nigerian Act now we get so now the Nigerian system now they do so. But in between this period, we me done there as executive director. I don't do other study tours na Kenya and then Ghana. Yeah, and so we don't they try for review we act. currently the act they to Solicitor General, that they watch the arguments the way we don't forward, put together, and we don't tell them, say, we not feel saying that the graduates they no more get the problem. We not feel say youth issues for just be the one with all land book. We all conscious of the fact say people and they will not able to make it to universities year in year out. Even when results are very good, so you get one they will not able to get departmental requirements. Some not even able to pay back for themselves for go sit. So some man can end up for be drop out. Where you gonna then get to them? Where you gonna then attire base them? Now that kind of day you meet they very intelligent, very eloquent, but they never go university. So we want to see how we start for incorporate the one in there. So by the time when the act come on, Solicitor General as just now, we will see say we not the only now deal with graduates, we will see how we begin deal with non-graduates as well.
Okay, family still watch the program, and as you don't get the background of what Mr. Jallow on say, you know, you say Salone, when you talk about education, you talk about people who get way intelligent in Africa, you know, come Salone in the military, because you don't say the likes of Stability Magai, these are the architects for later able build the foundation of education for Africa, where other countries they enjoy today. If we hear them say today, Salone now the anthem of West Africa, now because of we IQ, the intelligence way they see inside we education. But as that we don't need to go, but as we see the new direction, President Bill don't put hand for let's say education, you able to move to the level where everybody goes satisfied. That's why it creates a platform like this for let's say and put on under support the particular agency for let's say young people not only go college, come and sit down, but able to get something when they're able to do at the end of the day. Now you don't give me the background of this. Let's look at before we can discuss the thing itself proper. As a young man, very young man, you know, dedicate all your time giving back to young people. How this look like for you?
Oh, now the best part of my life are this. So, you know, growing up, I always don't live my life with other people. And I just be always very fortunate amongst them. Always them will say, okay, yeah, now you now man, now you the lead and everything. So I always feel say God sent me on a purpose for always come back and not only lead young people but for always give back to them what they really then deserve.
Okay.
You know, so to me, this part of my life where I really work with young people this part of my life where I lay down a net before I sleep. Now young people I might think about. Where I wake, now young people I might think about. Now my best part of my life. And I really appreciate God, and I'm happy and appreciate His Excellency the President for we give me this kind of honor for I able to serve in this capacity.
Okay. And now taking a mantle like this, now a very huge one, dealing with young people, young people like we, you know, that's way very ethic, you know, we get plenty a day talk here, this, that. Let me look at how this particular job don't look like for you.
I think one of the things that we don't do for me now for that pull gray hair. You know, at least I don't play I watch and I see say I get some gray hair na me beards, and I'm sure one they grab back na me head. But that's to tell you how tedious it is thinking around how to solve young people the issues them. They're very enormous. I can tell you, George, people can say, oh, young people they're difficult for work with. Yes, and try to work with the dynamics. Yeah, you always get for no say they get for change. You always get for no say they get for vex. You always no say they get for gladdy. You always no say they get for get the young times the way they don't want to talk to nobody. When you get all them blending them and hold them as rules to heading or governing them, then you see it like a pleasure. So in as much as it's tedious, because every other thing where you really want to achieve will be tedious, but to me it's pleasurable.
Okay, now let's look like you know, at what time, at what point in time where you feel say this job it don't look more than me, or this work, you know, it don't look somehow stiff and difficult for me. You don't ever reach at that point, say? Yeah,
well, there are times where you passively go just come to them kind realities and they, because nothing the way they happen, you know, where you like you don't talk to the young people and they're safe, you know, over and again, you don't tell them what they for really do. The way they go mess up, when they go do something contrary, you they put yourself that they shoe and remember say, me not be even get this kind of opportunity where they get so. but I be able to comport myself for rich side or rich soul. I be able to lift myself up from the ghetto and rich side or rich soul. I be able to come up from somebody where they put here in years to now an executive director. Here they are. They get all the opportunities. They get guidance. They get mentors. You understand? And but then will still go mess up. So at that moment, then you come to the reality. Then they to say, this is so difficult. But that's life. You accept them and get back to them and make sure say you're a little more remorseful, you're a little more adamant for drag them to where you really want them.
Okay. Family still three, and they look at issues we get for the young people as the NYS where the youth skip where the director Mohamed Onana they therefore explain what you feel say the job look like and also how to handle young people the issue. Mr. Onana, let me go into the discussion out proper about the NYS. Now you don't begin another process, but before we go to the process, let me look like from where you take over, where you don't in charge, how many batch of this COP we talk about, how many don't pass through the service from the time when you take over, and let's look at what now the impact where this don't make at the country.
So if really they be ask me for just summarize in few words, yeah, I don't just say we have come a long way, but we still have more to do.
More to do, yeah.
Yeah, that for don't just be a summary. And but for elaborate on that much more, I would say we don't begin from batch 1, the first batch of 200.
Okay.
Where people don't believe. We're gonna start radio for the very first interview as executive director. And Ambassador Bash at the time asked me, do you know what you're up to? You really know what thing you prepare yourself for take 200 graduates for them on a camp for 21 days. You really know we're not going to do them, and we don't cross all them challenge the day. Now we talk about batch 5. Yeah, so now make I say we have come a long way, even though we still have more to do. So we don't come up from 200, we don't recruit 510, we don't recruit 623, we don't recruit 475, and now we do 600. So to me, I just believe say it's a steady process, and like I always don't tell people, I'm happy that we take one step at a time, we bite enough of what we able to, in as much as people go ask questions of with all the number of graduates where they come on a college, now that they able to do, make it say it better. We take a small and they get them right, then we grab all man, they will not get them right, the whole thing crash. So because we take a small, now that make we don't come up from batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, and now we do batch 5.
Let's look at which are the enormous challenges we surround this particular process itself. We talk about taking these people to camp. We know how camping business you get for look at food, what child you get for look, so many other things, and it come inside this.
Yeah.
Let's look at the part of this particular recruitment thrown at the door.
Yeah.
How that will look like.
Okay, so the beauty now that when you get a government we're committed, we're sincerely committed, because we don't see governments that they commit. Yeah, but what you can lack now the sincerity in the commitment. So when you get a government with sincerely committed to saying something and wanting to do that thing, that's when you enjoy every bit of your job. We get a president with now manifesto, in as much as not to in National Youth Service, but where it be the campaign, it talks say there is a program called National Youth Service where they be done enact from 2016 when they not do nothing with when it come. And they make it happen. When he go parliament, the first day when he go parliament, he made a speech, he commit himself say, and they make sure say that thing will be talking about National Youth Service. It happened. When you watch the medium-term development plan, 2019 to 2023, it did it clearly that the National Youth Service will be up and running as against from that 10 day to 2023. So this shows commitment of government to waiting we want for achieve, but they not just talk them, then do them. We they gonna camp, George. We they able feed we graduates them 3 times a day. Beautiful food. Now they necessarily eat all 21 days, And most times when the program can be done, what they ask them, what will you miss after the 21 days? 60-65% can say the food. Because most of them can say, what will they out there now? Will they feed yourself? Now we go for go fend and for we self. Imagine now that can land we bad trick for 21 days where they give me breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, so leaving this camp, going back to the real world, we go back to reality. So those are the things we are enjoying. However, we can get challenges with deployment, and this is a message I have kept saying. But the beauty is another commitment that come up from government. We don't get a cabinet paper, a cabinet resolution that government institutions as well as private institutions for ready for the take them graduates here for a period of 1 year. So when once that commitment and they made, and we see how we work towards them, it not gonna be problem to we anymore. And but most times we say the challenge kicker with deployment again can be based on the courses where the graduates themselves study.
Okay.
Imagine some people that can study some course them it's difficult for deploy.
For them
Office not the way they exist where they take them. But we know they tire. We can still go to employers them and tell and say, give them the opportunities. Because now graduates them. If you give a graduate an opportunity, you go try, you go navigate himself.
Then get which we call say where you learning
on the job.
Yes,
you know, and because then are graduates, their minds they're open. They can able adapt easily. So that can make most of them, we can end up for put them in institutions. So that part of deployment, I'm sure, because of this new commitment with a cabinet resolution, we know we will get them going forward.
Okay. Well, Fambol is still with the program, Business Focus, and we talk to Mr. Mohammed Onana Jallow. You know, me na the Onana, na Onana Miduna Kilek Fokol. You know, the Executive Director of National Youth Service, where, you know, it all strive, you know, from batch 1 now, then we talk about batch 6. Batch 5.
Yep.
So let you see the type, the work we don't do, and you know, for promote young people in the country. We go continue for talk to them as we still they continue with the program. Now let me look at you know, because some people can say, just like I say, out of the 1,000 of graduates them whether they come up for the year, somebody they say, why won't I just take 200, 600, 500, 300 among them people in the, you know, somebody will say, there are maybe the favoritism, maybe because now in party and this, you know, get stuff that way people and look out, then funny talk then they. Let me look at the process itself, the process, how when I able for get them people there waiting, qualify them for come into this particular scheme.
Okay, to start with, the Act specifically say there for be 35 years and below. That is not to me talk that's what the Act say, na law. And therefore don't be graduates, na any of the recognized colleges or universities na Sierra Leone, degree graduates. Yeah? And therefore be Sierra Leoneans. So once you fall within that bracket, I not care beyond that day. Genuinely, I understand how Sierra Leoneans they perceive things of late. And of recent as well, that anything where they happen if be politicized. But the beauty of the National Youth Service now the fact that we begin out with paper application. Year 1 now be paper application. And so one of the things that will be the run in my mind, they do paper application now like then kind of thoughts here. They will begin feel say you the watch force, you know the sensor, the one the way they apply, now that make una go. So now I say, okay, you know what? Not come up paper application. Not technologicalize this program. Not put it online.
On the internet.
Yes. So we created a website. We established a website. And we put the portal there. Yeah. So when you are apply, na portal you go. I don't need for sabi you. I don't need for know where you come up from. And the beauty is, what I always tell people, I am so happy that National Youth Service is really a national program, because I can show you after here. You're going to snap the last portal. I dey open up for you, like snap them. So you go show people them. Every region they apply to the National Youth Service. If people be don't come to that conclusion, genuinely say, and I just one side that they take, the other one they not going to bother themselves. Yeah, but every region applies to the National Youth Service, meaning almost every district will they apply for the National Youth Service, and I'm sure maybe almost every chiefdom now they apply to the National Youth Service. And the beauty is, if you don't disappointingly, we don't get opportunity every time to all the way they apply. To me, Now the graduates themselves they disappoint me. Because when I open the portal, we expect them to apply more. But sometimes now because now online application, last year we began that kind of challenge. So what we do this year, we create a video how to apply. Yeah, Star TV play that video there for we a few times. Yeah, now that youth encounter program. So step by step how to apply. Because we don't come to the realization, say we get more people with the application they know they successful compared to those where the application is successful. Because now online, we graduates them, most of them tell them don't call it, they don't want they touch computer self. I let that person you they don't learn for them before I say them play with them. So those are challenges. But we'll get there. And all this not just for keep them naysayers them away and make them believe. Keep that message there. Once we meet up in a public forum, it expose the situation. We expect other people for triumph. Everybody will apply the National Youth Service. We call up for interview. Everybody. We apply to the National Youth Service. We call them for interview. When you come, the only thing we will militate against you, certain are your documents, and certain if you don't overage. In the absence of that, we'll give them all an opportunity for let them go serve.
Okay, another question back where you look at something like the women that you feel marginalized in some of them environments that they look like what not the opportunity we want to give to the disabled them and that of the women.
You see, National Youth Service is a national program. I always don't say this, and I'm sure it will become a cliche gradually. So man, they say it always they say this. What to make that because they call a National Youth Service. So now for everybody, once you fall within the criteria, we don't recruit 100% visually challenged person, blind, 100%. Miata Moriba, we recruit them, we cram on a camp, and we give them the opportunity for serve. Serve 1 year and a day. Yeah, woman then na priority to we. Even before the gender bill, National Youth Service they on record. We don't do over 30%.
Okay.
And this year not an exception. This year from the portal we get over 43% women we apply.
Okay.
And we're obviously going to give them the opportunities. For disabled, today, now one of the interview session, I just realized say we get somebody will sit on a wheelchair. Aside the fact saying a woman, but now wheelchair it they use. They don't even use crutch. Now wheelchair no more it they use. And for as long as it qualify, we'll get for go through in documents them. Trust me, you get for say an camp. And it will participate by all the activities them way in company them will participate in. Because that's what we do for them. We open their minds up for avoid for be discriminated about. Because now when they will begin keep themselves aside, now somebody will begin take notice of their disability. But when they involve themselves and integrate into waiting the other people that they do, then you don't even care for know whether it's disabled or not.
Okay. Fumble is still on the program, and we talk to Mr. Mohamed Onana Jallow, we are the director for the National Youth Service. As we don't hear you from the things and we don't say, we don't dive into so many things, and where I believe the way they're out there, you don't get the correct information because so many times when they happen, people they get different perceptions, different thinking, talk about how the process they go. But if you listen keenly to what they say, you go see yes, now open program, now open process, where not to know hidden something. And as you don't say, now national service, now national thing. Yourself, where you be in Kabbalah, you be in McKinney, you even come on, Anes by Komai village, you get opportunity to this particular program because that's for everybody. Let me take a short break. We'll come back and try to wrap up the program.
Dansez, dansez,
Fambo, welcome again to the program, Business Focus. And as I tell you earlier, we talk on exclusively on the issue of with the young people, because as you make up 60% of we population salon, young people, we get a very energetic population, because a country where you get the kind amount of people in the, in a country where, progress and success they are ahead of them. Because if you look at the country like Japan, talk about Korea, the old age people are too much. Italy and another country where people don't age. But Salon, God bless we population is very young, and the young people they take over. Just like the opportunity where His Excellency give for serving and other positions where young people today they occupy first time pass to see gray hair people where they occupy their position in the now as you they're about for when are they about for do this particular intake and try for send people in a camp, within what are the major, because even inside the government then get private people or other institutions where then they partner out in terms of dealing with some of the issues here, because a left one are not able when I get for stretch on the hands to other people for let them come on board, they are all able for steer this particular ship. Let's look at with the organizations where una done the partner out.
Okay, so we biggest partner na government of Sierra Leone. I can like for emphasize that there, because National Youth Service now one blessed institution where government funds they really come for what you want for do. Yeah, and so I'm happy and appreciate government. Another institution UNDP. Yeah, UNDP now we traditional partner, and they don't always partner with we, and they hope for continue that partnership. If you see we signpost them across the country, one of the few institutions we get signpost all over every district in Sierra Leone, the National Youth Service, and UNDP fund down there for we, and so many other areas of sponsorship. And another one then UNFPA. UNFPA, in fact, then they own baby this, because the first funds we ever come on from outside government for come to the National Youth Service now from UNFPA. And so we continue for maintain that relationship there with them. And beautifully, by the end of 2022, we get a new partner in National Authorization Office, NAO. Yeah, DSF don't open the mind to what would they do now, and they don't
under the Ministry of Planning
and Economic Planning, Development and Economic Planning, then get funds from EU. So if NAO they turn their attention to you, the begin member say it's possible, say na EU one for turn their attention to you. And so we don't get very fruitful conversations around that day. The executive director we did, Ambrose James, very positive, and they're very mindful about this gender stuff, and they want to see how they will begin partner with we for empower the woman them more, especially when they are training camps and after the trainings to deployment. So we're happy that NAO they come on board gradually, and subsequently we know EU and other institutions will follow. So those are our partners for now, and we hope for see other people for believing what they do, for say that should be an opportunity for young graduates them, if not only giving them job directly, but making them competitive in the job market, so that they will be able to compete with other job seekers them in the future.
Now we know say even governments they get a strategic plans where they can put maybe 2 years, 3 years, when now they meet the long term, the middle term, this something where it happen for every institution. If you want to see that institution they move. Let's look at strategic plan. In the first place, is there the strategic plan?
Yes, there is, yes.
Let me look at which this here.
Okay, so I'll be talk initially but bringing in non-graduates. That has been our long-term plan, and now in all long term again when it is 2023, because it don't reach the peak where we be say from 2018 we don't to say we for start for bring non-graduates. So now that we don't reach 2023, not a long-term plan again, now a plan of action now. It don't reach now. So one of the things that we want to achieve through that day now for see how we bring the non-graduates them into the National Youth Service. Yeah. Then another thing now for own young camp. Yeah. Because if we want to bring non-graduates, we get for train them beyond the 21 days what they do for the graduates. So we will need we young camp. Then they said we don't the part of we long term, but it only can out to short term because of the year range. Now a short term plan now within we holistic strategic plan. We want to own that camp. When we do the study tour on Kenya, we realize say Kenyan youths them they're skillful past all the youths in Africa. You can search that yourself. Yeah, Kenyan youth now you're in the talk, but then say you don't watch your shoe size, you don't cut one shoes, you don't wrap them, you don't hear your accent, you don't know say you're Sierra Leonean, you don't make the Kenyan flag, it mix out with the Sierra Leone flag, they sell and give you $5. Quick, you not if you not just in skill. You go barb, it barb you, it go rub one cream that you hate, you let that cream, it tell you say, oh, it's here for sale, you buy them, before you come out so you don't spend $100. But come on barb no more, we go and go barb. That's how skillful they are. So they can say they want for imbibe into. It has been a long-term plan, but they are now short-term because we don't reach 2023 because that was our limit given to us within our strategic plan.
When you talk about skill, now one thing we lacking in this country. Now we don't see with the emergence of President Bio, don't begin put some things in place like bringing technical university, military bagay na one, where then we'll begin for the other skill works. Now, like you talk about Kenya, say they don't get other things. And una want for own camp.
Yeah.
Oh, in this camp, is it that una get for do another technical works or train people in this camp for do another technical works using their hands and also other things?
So what would they go for go do in that camp? They basically now for really go prepare the minds of the young people where they go pardon technical and vocational institutions. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing where I realized in Kenya, I think like almost every street gets a polytechnic. Why they pass? Like almost every street, polytechnic. Yeah. We don't begin get the kind in Sierra Leone. Aside the technical university where we get polytechnic universities, we don't get GTIs across the districts. Moyamba na one beneficiary. But my question is, would they go there? Which youths they will really go there? Are they prepared to go there? Are they just going there because they want them to go there? So what you want to do with we young people now for prepare the minds. George, my arguments have always been what we lack na Sierra Leone, not all ideas. And until we prepare their minds today, you still go see somebody go to university, he still can't sit there, they wait for them to get back. Because in mind not prepared. You still see somebody go to them technical university, then they come out, he still not know what to do with that skill. We are seeing people coming out with catering certificates, HNDs in catering and this, that. But they're not able to establish one cookery shop. They're not even able to add value to the cookery shop within an area to them. So what's the essence? All that because their minds they're not prepared for them. Some of them are going to these courses because they say, my party don't go, let me self go. So what you want for do in the camp is to prepare their minds for the technical and vocational institutions. Prepare them for those technical and vocational institutions. Trigger some of them technical and vocational courses to them whilst they're in that camp.
Okay.
We can holistically trigger plumbing and see how many people really interested in plumbing. How many they pass plumbing exams. We set them aside. We know say that can be very good plumbers. Rather than just leaving them because one in brother in an area, you don't go do plumbing course, instead grab disinterestedly. He go do plumbing course because you know how they say you know they do nothing. So when you come out with the plumbing degree or plumbing certificate, what did they do that?
Because
they can't sit down because they are not to be priority. So what for prioritize the mindset before going into these technical and vocational institutions. Government is doing so well in creating the institutions. We now want to complement government by building the human capital into those technical institutions.
Human capital, as I say, let's look at how it beneficial to the economy of a country.
Look, Judge, if I not being, if me by myself not being humanly capacitated, I not be for there because of me trend of life. For Musa, I don't come out. You know, I could have given up. Tell me don't do in my life where I just feel say no need. What's the essence? Which I it can me go. But because I believe in human capital, so that is what human capital does. It will continue for give you hope. It will continue. So people don't feel say when they say human capital, oh, not just the degree, oh, not just the book where they learn. No, not just the book. When they talk about building the human capital, now the hope, that belief, say do no more. Just keep pushing. In the absence of that, some man they even go get masters. He still give up. He still goes to down at ghetto because he not believe in the human capital.
Okay.
You understand? So what President Bill say, they build the human capital development. You they say physically. When we talk to young people, I they inspire them because when I share my story with them, they see me like them and see me now as a different person altogether. So that's them go on for be like me. So that make you go find out say he put beaucoup young people na strategic positions. A big past the anti-corruption commissioner, a big past the minister of youth, a big past the deputy minister of youth, a big past the minister of how they call them?
Petroleum.
No, mines.
Mines, yes.
Mines. See, I always keep provoke them. I always tell and say, you know, you too, you still get for cancer na me institution. But these are strategic positions held by young people.
Minister of basic
education. You know, na me in Big Brother na rank and paddy. You can imagine all those. Even though me young, he is more younger. I'm saying these to see how the inspiration of the human capital day. So not to just for boast to them of the education. Now for make them understand, say you can be that young and still achieve in those kind of capacities. So that's human capital. That's only they develop human capital. It's not just saying it. If they all get degrees, if they all go learn the book, and they not see people of them kind hold positions, they will just give up. But when you see when we talk to you, when we share ideas with you, when you see David with Indred, they begin to say, so that person self can still go to minister. So why me feel say, why get that now because me not drop out? So that inspires you. That's what human capital does. So this strategy of His Excellency is one way we lacking in this country, and a one way don't just come now for put Sierra Leone for day. No country no day. We don't develop. We not to buy education. Ghana, as recent as we mid secondary school, we began Ghanaian teachers than Sierra Leone, and that was because the economy not be able to handle them. That was because the country not be able to hold on to them. So they were running to Sierra Leone. Abisabi Ghana brave. Ghanaians were the best bakers in this country. Where are they now? They all don't turn back na Ghana. We're gonna accept human capital development. We're gonna put seriousness in human capital development. The one way learn book, the one way believe in themselves, they all go back because they be no say there is space for us and we can now achieve what we have learned. So now President want for achieve now, and I'm sure we are there. We're getting there.
Indeed, we are there. We are getting there. You know, that's the word of the great man himself, Mohamed Onana Jallow, as you know, in his submission. Now, man, we get the zeal, you get a passion for young people, as you know. Although you don't explain much what himself, but man, we you don't into youth activity for a very long time, from his school days, college, you know, and also you know doing the civil society work. These are all part of serving the young people and also serving in nation as you know a reformer. Well, as we try to wrap up the program, once again, I want to let you reiterate the process itself, how people are able to come and you know waiting they qualify them, or maybe don't talk about, but maybe somebody will just join me. Okay. Let you able to reiterate that again.
So for next year now, because for this year we'll be opening the portal in June 2022. We close them now in November 30th. Now we lock the portal. We don't shortlist, and now we do interviews. We do interviews for the next 1 week. Excuse me. And after 1 week, the 27th, we're gonna camp. Or we're gonna camp up to February 16th. Now we calendar that day for this year. By June again, this 2023, we go reopen the portal. So if you know say you're not graduate. We know say beaucoup people will not be able to apply because they're able to collect their degrees they hate, they're able to collect their statements of results. That's the one challenge we are facing. I don't take the task for engage registrars across the country of institutions, and we don't begin get positive conversations around having MOUs so that we go to not only releasing results early but also try for the vets
some of them result here, then they apply this for council.
Statement for the
exactly. Let them go to release the statements of result them quick, and we don't get closer to those conversations. So for now timetable that day, we done interviews from now to Friday. When we done, we give them 1 week break and let them prepare themselves. Then we're gonna camp for the next 21 days. We don't engage the camp management. They're ready. They're very prepared for we like ever before. And we vendors, they're all very active right now. Without they get for provide feeding, without they get for provide toiletries. You can imagine when they provide toiletries for the all. You know, when they give the water all through, not to just for wash, for drink. You know, so man na packet water they drink, take commander. You know, and these are challenges where people they go through and they take care of themselves. But we are doing it because government they give you that support then we donors them, then they give you that support then anything we them give you for young people them. We make sure say it reach them. And when that camp they on, we encourage Sierra Leoneans the way they doubt for the visit. You know, it's not just right. For them you sit down a corner and they assume.
Just
you assume say Abo, they know they give them that self, Abo, they know they feed them fine self. Once in a while, as a Sierra Leonean, go around. Introduce yourself as a citizen. Say I just come for can check and know how this food day. We might have you lunch or maybe dinner. You self assess them. So when you come out, that doubt, you go able to change them and change other people their perception as well. Rather than you sit down a corner and say, then if I apply, say then they take me. Apply. You apply, let them not take you. Then you hold that as an evidence. That make we always don't challenge. Like when the minister, I think he always knock chest. Say the day where anybody they tell us say I apply the National Youth Service, they don't take me. They resign in job. Me say they take that challenge day. If anybody apply the National Youth Service from 2018, it qualify, will not take them. Yeah, let it come with in evidence. I they resign my job.
Okay.
Yes, I they resign my job. Say I apply, I qualify, but they don't take me.
This is I
they resign my job. Yes, let itself go and start with the evidence. Let's start TV call. They go prove that evidence. Why they go to the resignation letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as they go now, what you want to tell the people because you talk about say one of the most difficult parts of all what they do na deployment.
Yeah.
What you want to tell people when they get them business them people when the offices them for able to accommodate some of them.
Government employers them will they come back for una, will they come back, we're all doing this together. This is not government program, this is not the president in vision, this is not the president in dream, this is not the president in wish for fight this unemployment in this country. We are not saying employ them instant, we are only saying give them an opportunity for serve. In between that period you can even get a very good staff, you can even get a very good employee. For the private sector, this now an opportunity for make boku money. Yeah, year in year out you dey employ staff them. Then they come, then they work with you. Some man not even 3 months, it don't go. Some man you dey train them for 6 months. Just after the last training, where you don't spend all your money per them, it go. You have an opportunity for get a graduate where they work with you for 1 year. 1 year permanent. 1 year where nobody not dey interrupt. At least inside that 1 year, you can get all the basic trainings, build them up like you want. Then you're able to make them a very good staff at the end of the year. So this is a win-win situation for all of us. It is for government and it is for the private sector. But Mickey always say the one that really benefit most importantly than the private sector. Now when you watch the institutions that were headed by Nigerians, they participate more with National Youth Service Sierra Leone than any other institution because they know the opportunities where they within this program. So we encourage the Sierra Leone brothers themselves for believing what they do. This happen for young people then.
Because just a free service at the give.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. You get a stipend. Inside that 1 year, you don't even know who done a real staff, who done a good staff. So you're ready for employ. You now get a database where you just go get onto. John be served with me last year. Let's check back if you don't get job. If you don't get job yet, John can work with me. Because you know say John be diligent, you know say John be selfless, you know say John be very patriotic.
Now finally, I'm not going for no ask this question. There are so many at times, like from the first batch, second batch, where they hear about stipend from the National Youth Service, where we want to forgive the cops or the trainees we want to send out. Some of them they say that they get, some they say that this, so many, some team be the play around this particular. I want to clear the air on this particular stipend issue.
Okay, so like always, National Youth Service gives stipend for 3 years. Batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. And at the vouch, Naya, on air, say everybody will serve in those 3 batches, getting stipends full by the end of their service. Yes, stipends be the delay, and that is because government get in own procedures. We get for apply for we funds now Ministry of Finance get for VETAM, they get for check. You know me say no more because we in a government institution, don't they clean no more say, hey, we want 100 million for we coppers, then they transfer them. No, they get for go through the processes, and in between that period, stipends go delay. So the time when we pay stipend, yes, stipends delayed, but everybody will serve before the year they done. Everybody before giving you certificate, they get a stipends. Yeah, batch 4 National Youth Service no give stipend because the roadmap will be work with say National Youth Service as an institution for give stipend for 3 years, for 3 batches. Yeah, then we could give batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. After batch 3, we not give again. For the one that we care for no, the act what they use 2016 Act of National Youth Service section 40 say the institutions where we they send the coppers them now then forgive them transport allowances. So not to National Youth Service. Yes, we understand say some institutions and they will not give batch 4, but we also agree say Boku institutions then they will give. But for us as a directorate, we push through the ministry for them to push for a cabinet resolution. So if the final say the 2023 budget, most institutions put now the 2023 budget for support National Youth Service coppers. Okay. So the one that also will for send must go be magnanimous for able to give that a transport allowance. Okay. But it's a process, and but we coppers they know the care for stipend. Now people no more always incite them, and make you always say the one that incite them on this stipend. When they graduate here, kids don't host 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they don't get job. Almost you can give them as allowance we done. Nothing. So don't incite them about stipend.
In fact, most times now they're going to tell us
they're idle. Yeah. Most times, if you go to an office, your participation in that office go back and let them not get money. The boss will go to work with at least every day when they're off. It will either give you lift or it give you small thing as transport. Yeah. But most times the graduate that they go, they don't commit themselves to the work or they say they are for a stipend. But if they send you now an office, you they go there every day. That boss they see you. You diligent, you they serve, you they bring in ideas. Ebo, it must be magnanimous for give you something. Sure. But if you go there, you not take like your own business, you feel say no man we want they forgive you. They said I let them get, they not go give you because they only see you part of them. So those are the things where for the watch, not to just whether they give a stipend. Let us also watch whether they are participating well. Yeah. So talk about the dog and talk about the ball.
Well, with that, we will bring down the cutting down of the program. But Mr. Onana will go if you know a final word for inside the program today.
I'll continue for thank Star TV and Radio, Media One Solution generally. We don't the partner in this. Aside the fact that we get interviews with Una one institution we don't take we coppers them every year, and so. Nobody know they go tell Una anything but National Youth Service because Una know from batch 1 to the final to this batch they can't do so. Una know when they get stipend, Una know when they get stipend, Una know when they not get stipend. You guys know everything about it. So I want for continue for Dove me heart to Una and continue for acts that we sustain this partnership, and I'd encourage all the media houses for continue with the good work. I get a host of others them. I know we name them now on our own platform now, but other platform then they give we, and we appreciate them as well. We appreciate the institutions them we done the partner with we all this while. I get institutions them George. Now then they call me. Oh, Mr. Jallo, we not see una letter 8 for this year. We not the recruit. Can you imagine that? Yeah, sure. You know, this year we not ask it almost we get for take. We get them. We get institutions. I don't want to say the names in there. And they wish for the day they close. I wish we were able to get His Excellency now the platform where they close this year after the 21 days. Let us name some of them government institutions here. We then heads them, they call we, they partner with we, and they make sure say the National Youth Service sustained up to this moment. But until then, I just want to dove my heart into them and thank them for everything we don't do up to this moment.
Okay. Well, Fambul, that's Mr. Mohammed Onana Jallo, the director for the National Youth Service. We inside the program today. We say plenty thank you to Ram for we giving time for come talk to the people of the country alone. Tell them about what young people they do, and also waiting at the platform where they don't create for young people, and how they for take advantage of this platform and make their life they go better for themselves and their family. Well, me wake out the program today, Mina George Elliott Sam, and I say plenty thank you to my cameraman, Regina Norman, and also to the producers, Yesi Holloway and that of Leonora Jawara. And we still continue for more. We boss, we that the executive director of the Media One Center, we comprise of Star TV, Star Radio, Standard Times, and the Printing Press. Say let God give good road, and also a legacy we go fight for keep them, and it go kick and running. Well, so till next week, Mina George Tata. Don't forget tuning on Wednesday 6 o'clock, and the repeat take on Friday 2 o'clock. So till next week, Tata, and have a blast.